Alright, so judging from the success of my last video, it seems like everybody wants to see how to cook crayfish. But before you can cook crayfish, you have to get them out to sea, and I dive these myself, so I just want to give you guys a quick how to catch crayfish. Crayfish generally sit in holes and they hide in there, and they've got these little guys that stick out, so when you're looking for crayfish, this is the first thing you see. Then you got to stick your hand in and pull them out. Now, if you can focus the camera on this front part over there, you see that this thing has got more spines than an angry thorn tree, and it makes them exceptionally difficult to grab, so make sure that you've got a good set of gloves or you're going to shred your hands up. And when you catch a crayfish, basically what you want to do is, as fast as you can, first prize, hand on top, press it down, pull it out. Second prize, hand on top of these two things. If you grab this, they literally just break off. I'm not going to try and break it off because it's got little spines in it like my hands. So if you can grab here, bad. If you can grab there, brilliant. There, also good. And then generally what will happen then is they'll puff their legs up and hook themselves into the rock. So what you're going to do is give them a bit of a wiggle, push them down, just give them a bit of a tug. And here in South Africa we're doing this all on one breath. So grab, tug, wiggle, pull, should take about 10 seconds to get it out. And then you got yourself a nice, live, fresh crayfish. Let's cook them. Okay, so big crayfish. Second way on the 101 ways to cook crays is going to be braai again, but this time a bit different. Instead of using a butter sauce, I'm going to make a sea butter. And with the sea butter, we literally crayfish on the fire towards the end of the cooking process, put the sea butter on. It's going to draw into that meat. It's going to be delicious. So to make the sea butter, follow these easy steps. Alright, step one, cream some garlic. So just going to take the cloves off, drop one. To cream garlic, peel your garlic, crush your garlic. Get it into as smaller pieces as possible. Use a bit of chopping, crushing, whatever methods that you'd like. Once the garlic is chopped and crushed, add a little bit of fine salt to it, which is going to then help break the garlic down even further. And then we're going to use the flat part of the knife to basically mush the garlic into what's known as garlic cream. So to cream the garlic, break it down into the smallest pieces possible and just squish it, mush it until it forms garlic paste or garlic cream. Next thing I'm going to do is get the zest off of 2 lemons. Right, now the way you get the zest off, if you're not one of those fancy people with one of those microplanes, you know, that they sell in the shops for quite a lot, grab your grater, standard grater. You probably got one of these in your cupboard. There's quite a funny guy who said that you probably got 3. If you can't find you one, look behind the other one because it's probably there. Like, for some odd reason, everyone's got these things and they look like the inside of 90s hip hop music videos. Check it out. Just imagine Puff Daddy in there. Anyway, so on this side that looks like it's been stabbed out. Grab it on, and then just circular motions until it goes white, and then repeat that over the entire surface of the lemon. And what you're after is this stuff here, zest or rind. Alright, and zest goes into the bowl. Now it's a lot of zest. It's going to give our crayfish an exceptionally fresh, zesty, lemony flavour. It's a great way to transport lemon flavour without having to use oodles of lemon juice, because that just makes everything soggy. Cool. To this, I'm going to add a bit of my powdered seaweed or flaked up seaweed. Making seaweed powder. If you don't have it, it's just literally sushi nori sheets in a coffee grinder which I've cleaned. A little bit of salt and just ta-da! And what this does is it actually gives a very oceany, briny flavour that you normally get when you steam or use a stock of seafood. But because we're making a butter, we don't want it to be runny, so a bit of seaweed is just going to incorporate that ocean to it. Next up is a bit of salt. Yeah. A touch of pepper. And about half to a quarter block of butter. Now usually the guys that I've seen on YouTube do this with a full block of butter and they're like just going to cut a little piece off, but in our family we use a lot of butter and just done. Alright, so I've been mixing for about a minute and a half maybe, and just got to get the stuff until it's homogeneous. When it reaches this point, chuck it in the fridge. Okay, when I braai these guys, I'm literally going to cut them down the middle, get all the guts and stuff out, and I'm going to put them shell down in the braai, or the barbecue, or the grill, or whatever it is you guys call it in your country. Here in South Africa, one's braai, or roughly translated into English, we braai. And the way I'm going to do that is take a staunch knife, not a flabby little knife, but a staunch knife, and cut from there all the way down to there. Cool. And this takes a bit of effort, it takes a bit of things, and you're probably going to get your hand stabbed in the process. I generally just stick my hand over it, grab half the precipice of the shell, and then just use it as a fulcrum, and get ready for the crunch. Now, hardcore crayfish lovers will eat this. That right there. This bowl over here, this line over here, as you can see, is full of crayfish poo. So you want that out. This over here is brains, guts, all sorts of other fun stuff. Little organs. It's actually quite nice sometimes to eat that, but a lot of people don't like it. So for the interests of safety or people's enjoyment, I'm taking it out. Alright, so I've got 4 crays for 4 people, so it's 1 cray per person. I could have taken more out today, but I decided, well, not that I decided, but it's always good to only take what you need from the ocean. I mean, we don't want to do this thing to a point of unsustainability. Getting your own food is quite sustainable, so it's pretty awesome that I get the opportunity to do this kind of thing. Anyway, let's go put them on the fire. Okay, because the storm's coming, we've got to do this quickly. I'm going to stick these crayfish on a very hot braai, but the shell is going to take the brunt of the heat and it's just going to sort of cook the meat throughout. So just going to whack them down just like that with the shell down. You can't really see it because the light sucks, but these guys are going to start turning opaque soon. And they're on the fire with no flavoring, no fat, no nothing. All that's going to come from the butter in a few moments. As you can see, the crayfish have been on for maybe a minute and they're already bubbling in their shells. They're already turning opaque on the side here. Just going to whack the lid on and leave them alone for like 2-3 minutes, if that. Okay, so if you guys have a look over here, you can see the fish is nice and opaque, nice and done. And if you have a look on the outside shells, they're nice and crispy. So good protection over there. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to give them a quick turn. Very quick.
Good camera too.
Cool. And when I said seconds, I literally meant those seconds. All these legs and things in the way. I'm now going to put a bit of the butter on. Now, just quickly. In the head, on the tail. And they are done. Let's get these off the fire and into the plates. A bit of the old salad, some red stuff, and I'm going to use my hands, screw it. And the crayfish, and there you have it, a meal fit for a king. Let's dig in. Got a whole family to feed, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys next week and play with your food.